Hi, everybody. Alan Arnette here with another podcast and a blog on alanarnette.com. It is Sunday, April 6, 2025, and this is the weekend update for the Everest 2025 season. Well, I know we're talking about Everest, but we're also talking about the other 8,000 meter mountains. And we had our first 8,000 meter summit of the season today on Sunday, actually, right now, Sunday this morning in Nepal. Um, it was several climbers from Imagine Nepal and Seven Summits Treks. So, congratulations to all of them. You know, I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. It's been a really tough season on Annapurna, an abnormally dry winter, and also high winds kept people just really grounded for a long time. They actually were acclimatized back in the middle of March, and they had one summit push, but there were so many open crevasses, and they had to take this really circuitous route that they actually ran out of rope. So they had to get more rope. And even this time, they didn't have enough rope. And they had to rope up together, sort of like you do on Denali, instead of using the fixed rope to get to the summit. So there's another whole group going up tonight. I haven't heard anything from our South African friends. They were supposed to be up there just about this time. So I really hope that they made it and they're coming back down safely. But we're definitely going to keep our eyes on that. So back over to Everest. The same conditions that we saw on Annapurna looks like they're being mirrored on Everest. The Icefall Doctors have commented that they've had a really tough time getting the route in this year because, again, high winds and rock fall. And I think what they're talking about is the rocks and the ice coming off of the west shoulder of Everest. So when you go up to Kumbu Icefall to the climber's left, that's the west shoulder of Everest. And of course, that's where that giant serac lives. And a little piece of it calved off in 2014, taking the lives of 16 Sherpas that were in the icefall. So, the icefall is not the place where more people die than anybody anywhere else on the mountain, but it certainly is a deadly, deadly place to be, and speed is your friend when you go through it. That first climatization rotation, that's really tough because you can't go as fast as you really need to because you're not quite acclimatized yet. And that's the reason that so many teams are acclimatizing on Lobuche or on Island Peak or on other mountains and trying to reduce the number of times they go through the icefall. Well-respected operators like Adrian Bollinger, that's his primary reason for only climbing on the north side because he just feels that the risks are too great for his staff and his clients to risk going through the icefall. So he only goes on the Tibetan side. So let's hope this year is a safe year. Again, I'm expecting just a record number of summits. The Ministry of Tourism has already said that they've issued 198 permits for to 7 teams on the Nepal side. Obviously, I have no word on the CTMA on the Tibetan side, but I'm expecting maybe 700 summits on the Nepal side. That's taken into account both clients as well as Sherpas, and on the Tibetan side, maybe 250, something like that. So again, it won't surprise me if we see over 1,000 this year to summit Everest. A piece of really good news: the Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committee, the SPCC, that's the organization. It's a government organization that's responsible for maintaining the trash and trying to keep the Kumbu area and the mountains clean. They issued a set of rules today that actually are really good. I like them. They First off, if you ever wonder how much it costs to pay the Sherpas, the Icefall Doctors, to fix the route up to Camp 2, is $600 per person, and that's typically included in your guiding fee with your operator. So as an individual client, you don't pay them directly; it goes through your guide. That's what it typically happens. But the new rules they put out, they are saying that you need to segregate all of your trash. Let me just glance at it here, that it must be separated into following categories: plastics, paper, tins, and glass bottles. I think that's to make it easier for sorting and then disposal. Also, kitchen waste, all organic food waste has to be separated, and any type of hazardous material like batteries. And finally, human waste. Last year they implemented the so-called WAG bags, WAG. It's just a biodegradable plastic bag that has a little bit of some type of chemical in it to help break down the waste. And so this year, they're just reminding people that you have to bring down 100% of your solid human waste. Again, this is similar to what's been done on places like Aconcagua and Denali for decades. And I'm just really, really glad to see that Nepal is doing that on their side. Last year, it went okay. It wasn't perfect, but that's to be expected. This is kind of a tough thing to do because once you get all the wag bags back down to base camp, now you've got to still take them somewhere and dispose of them properly. And it's not clear to me how they did that. So hopefully this year they're continuing to improve on that process. Also, they're asking that every climber bring down 8 kilograms of garbage from above base camp. This rule has been in place for 5, 6, 7 years, and I'm not sure it's ever been enforced. And also, they're saying that no toilet tents can be installed on crevasses at Camp 2. So that may seem kind of weird, but what they've done is they've basically put up a telephone booth size. You guys remember what a telephone booth is? But a telephone booth size tent over a crevasse, and then you pooped basically directly into the crevasse, and that's pretty disgusting because again, it doesn't break down at those altitudes. There's not enough microbes in order for that to happen. So it basically just eventually just gets taken down by the glacial movements. Also, they're saying that now operators cannot leave any equipment. They can't store equipment at Camp 2. I'm not sure how I feel about that because if you're going to be going up there every year, you can certainly store that stuff up there and cut down on either the number of helicopter flights or drone flights, which I'm not thrilled about that either, even though it does cut down on the number of trips that the Sherpas have to go through. And that's really be my biggest concern on that particular area. So, it's moving along. The base camp is starting to, take shape, and the Kumbu is full of trekkers. Mike Hamill's climbing the 7 summits. He said he's got 10 teams in the Kumbu right now, all the way from just people going to base camp to climbers going to go make an attempt on Everest. So, I can imagine the tea houses are busy, the yaks are busy, the zoes are busy. Just everything is just really starting to buzz here on early April. And they'll probably be starting to arrive, teams will start to arrive around April 15th. So that's what we can look forward to this upcoming week. Hopefully, the Icefall Doctors will get the ropes all the way to Camp 2. Not sure exactly where they are right now. They could be to Camp 1, but I'm not clear on that one quite yet. So we'll get an update between now and next Sunday on this update. So that's it for this week. Climb on. This is Alan, and remember, memories are everything.